Recently, in the AHA 2021 meeting, AVATAR trial was presented. Before talking about the AVATAR trial and early interventions in patients with asymptomatic severe AS, let's dive into the natural history of the asymptomatic severe AS and what evidences do we have till now in the management of the patients with asymptomatic severe aortic stenosis. Aortic stenosis is a fairly common disease. It is found in approximately 5% of the adults more than 65 years of age. Severe symptomatic aortic stenosis carries very poor prognosis. Approximately 50% patients die in 1 to 2 years. Aortic valve replacement has been shown to improve survival. Both transcatheter and surgical aortic valve replacement have been shown to be beneficial in patients with aortic stenosis. As of now, in 2021, we have European Society of Cardiology valvular heart disease guidelines, which was given in 2021, and AHA 2020 guidelines for the management of valvular heart disease. To put it precisely, aortic valve replacement is indicated in patients with aortic stenosis who either have symptoms or they are asymptomatic but they have LV dysfunction, or those who develop symptoms during exercise. We all know that symptomatic severe AS carries very poor prognosis, but around 50% patients with severe AS are asymptomatic at the time of diagnosis. The best time and modality for interventions in these patients is controversial. Why do we want to treat these patients early? Because, number one, the course of the disease is highly variable and often unpredictable in AS. Number two, late presenting patients may have worse prognosis despite aortic valve replacement. And number three, operative risk is higher in patients with higher age and poor LV functions. Besides this, periprocedural mortality for both transcatheter aortic valve replacement and surgical aortic valve replacement are low. Patients with asymptomatic severe AS have better prognosis than patients with symptomatic severe AS. 5 years after the patients are diagnosed as having asymptomatic severe aortic stenosis, 2/3 of these asymptomatic patients develop symptoms. 75% of these patients may have either died or undergone AVR in the next 5 years. The average annual increase in the aortic jet velocity is 0.3 meters per second. The annual decrease in the aortic valve area is around 0.1 centimeter square. There are certain predictors of rapid hemodynamic progression, and these include smoking, dyslipidemia, diabetes, hypertension, chronic kidney disease, coronary artery disease, and male gender. Aortic valve calcium is the most powerful predictor of rapid aortic stenosis progression. 1-year survival rate in patients with asymptomatic severe AS has been found to range between 67% to 97% in various studies. 5-year survival rate in patients with asymptomatic severe AS has been found between 38 to 83% in various studies. The largest study till date has found that 1-year survival rate in patients with asymptomatic severe AS is more than 90%. That is 92.8% to be exact. And 5-year survival rate is close to 75%. That is 73.6% to be exact. The risk of death in asymptomatic patients is dependent on the severity and rate of progression of AS. The predictors of death and the need for aortic valve replacement in asymptomatic severe AS include number 1, age, number 2, congestive heart failure, number 3, chronic kidney disease, number 4, inactivity. Patients on beta blockers and higher ejection fraction have much better prognosis. The median time to symptom onset, aortic valve replacement, and death ranges between 1 to 4 years. The risk of sudden cardiac death in asymptomatic severe aortic stenosis is around 1% per year. An important point to note is that around 70% of sudden cardiac death in asymptomatic severe AS patients are not preceded by any classical aortic stenosis symptoms, and it may be the first clinical manifestation of AS. Hemodynamic severity of aortic stenosis is associated with increased risk of sudden cardiac death in asymptomatic patients. The recovery trial was published in January 2020 in New England Journal of Medicine. The authors of this study compared early surgical treatment or conservative care for asymptomatic severe AS patients. It was a multicentric trial. Around 145 patients with very severe AS were randomized into early surgical group and conservative management group. Very severe AS was defined as aortic valve area less than equal to 0.75 centimeter square, mean pressure gradient more than 50 mmHg across the valve, and peak velocity more than equal to 4.5 meters per second. This study excluded the following subset of patients. Number 1, those who had typical symptoms of aortic stenosis, that is, exertional dyspnea, syncope, presyncope. Number 2, LV ejection fraction less than 50%. Number 3, significant aortic regurgitation. Number 4, significant mitral valve disease. And number 5, history of cardiac surgery. The mean age of the patients in this study was around 63 years, and around 50% of the patients in this study were males. 50% patients in this study had bicuspid aortic valve, and around one-third patients had degenerative valvular heart disease, and around 10% patients had rheumatic etiology. In the recovery trial, it was found that there is lower incidence of primary endpoint of operative mortality and death from cardiovascular cause during the follow-up in patients who underwent early surgical treatment. And early surgical treatment was found to be associated with lower incidence of death from any cause. Recovery trial showed the benefits of early surgery in patients with very severe asymptomatic aortic stenosis. AVATAR trial was recently presented at AHA 2021. It compared aortic valve replacement with conservative therapy in patients with asymptomatic severe AS. It was a randomized trial, and 157 patients were randomized into two groups, early surgical group and conservative therapy group. Patients were followed up for around 32 months. The mean age of these patients was 67 years, and female comprised approximately 43% patient population. Patients were included in this study after their asymptomatic status was confirmed by exercise testing. And only patients with STS score less than 8% were included. Patients were excluded from this study if they had positive exercise test, or they had LV ejection fraction less than 50%, or they had very severe AS, or they had history of CABG or heart valve surgery in the past, or had major comorbidities, or the patients had life expectancy less than 3 years. In intention to treat analysis, patients who are randomized to early surgery had significantly lower incidence of composite endpoint of all-cause death, acute myocardial infarction, stroke, and unplanned hospitalization for heart failure as compared to conservative strategy. There was no statistical difference in the secondary endpoints, including all-cause mortality, first heart failure hospitalization, major bleeding, or thromboembolic complications. An important limitation of this study was its small size. What we conclude from the results of this AVATAR trial is that in asymptomatic patients with severe aortic stenosis, early surgery reduces primary composite of all-cause death, acute myocardial infarction, stroke, and unplanned heart failure hospitalization compared to the conservative therapy. An important limitation of this study is its small size. Early TAVR trial is assessing whether TAVR should be performed on these asymptomatic severe AS patients. Patients in this study are being randomized to either TAVR group or medical treatment group. Patients being enrolled in this trial, if their age is more than 65 years, they have severe aortic stenosis, and they are asymptomatic. That is, their asymptomatic status has been confirmed by exercise testing. Also, the role of interventions is being explored even in moderate aortic stenosis. The TAVR Unload trial is looking at the role of TAVR in patients with moderate AS but with LV dysfunction. As far as the current status of intervention is concerned, early intervention may be considered in patients with severe asymptomatic aortic stenosis if one or more predictors of symptom development is present. And these predictors of symptom development include clinical parameters, echo parameters, and biomarkers. The clinical parameters are older age and atherosclerotic risk factors. The echo parameters are valve calcification, peak jet velocity, LV ejection fraction, rate of hemodynamic progression, higher mean pressure gradient more than 20 mmHg, severe left ventricular hypertrophy, left atrial volume, indexed stroke volume, and global longitudinal strain. The biomarkers include natriuretic peptide and troponin. If procedural risk is low, early intervention may be considered in these patients with asymptomatic severe AS. Otherwise, watchful waiting is better. In the coming years, these guidelines may evolve to include broader range of severe asymptomatic AS as more and more evidence becomes available to us. You were listening to CardioEd, and we'll meet again in another episode.